right, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Patterson Report podcast. As always, I'm Brandon. That's Ryan. Apologies for the brief delay. I think we both had back-to-back bachelor parties, which made things a little bit difficult to get content out to you guys. Unfortunately, everything happened. After going months where, you and I were trying to rub two sticks together to create content, and we take a brief 2-week hiatus, and LeBron signs with the Sixers, and the MLB trade deadline occurs.
Yeah, pretty bad timing on our part. I didn't know LeBron was ever thinking about coming here, and here we are.
Yeah, we're going to kind of bury the lead a little bit because, obviously that's the biggest news in Philadelphia probably since the last title, if you ask me. But more topical or recent development was it the MLB trade deadline today. The Phillies, I think, had a very Phillies trade deadline. We've seen this one, I think, every year of Dave's tenure. Maybe aside from what it would have been last year with the big Duran swing. But it was a very Dave deadline. You have one B-tier move followed by a whole lot of marginal moves in silence. Obviously the Phillies go out and get Luis Arraez from the Giants. It costs a pretty high pitching prospect in Ramon Marquez, number 4 prospect in the system. I have a varying opinion on that one. I'm a big believer in trade to prospect because how often do they really turn out? The windows right now, the guys are getting older. That deal in a vacuum, I don't really mind. Now, if you zoom out a little bit, and Luis Arraez was pretty much, the unpopular girl at the table, all free agency, and Dave could have got him for, no prospects and just paid him. That's a criticism that's worth making. But at the deadline, don't mind that deal. I don't mind the Raley deal from the Mets. He's 38 for sure. He's a lefty specialist. He's pitched really well this year. We needed bullpen help. Didn't give up too much to get him. But man, other than that, you talk about not addressing a lot of your needs. You get an infielder with an awkward fit. We'll get into that in a sec. You don't address starting pitching. You don't address outfield power. You don't address the righty bat. It's a little tricky to square this deadline with what this team really needed.
Yeah, couldn't you have just traded for Taylor Ward instead?
Yeah, and the package, I'm sure you've seen it. The package wasn't outlandish.
Yeah, they got an outlandish one for Adley Rutschman later in the day, but the Taylor Ward one for a right-handed bat that could provide some pop and fill a need in right field, it was perfect. And then Dave's like, okay, we're going to get a lefty bat, and you're going to like it.
And the thing is, I like Arraez. I think, look, ever since we got rid of Gene Segura, I think this team has missed having the guy that just gets on base. Like, we have a team full of streaky hitters, and Arraez he's slump-proof. His worst year as a pro, he hit 292. So, I like him as a player. The fit's just kind of funny.
It's very funny. And now you got to move all these pieces around,
Yes.
What I would have done.
Yeah.
So say the Arraez trade goes through.
Mm-hmm.
We're right where we are. I'm moving Trey to center. I'm moving Stott to short, and I'm putting Arraez to second.
I couldn't agree more. And did you see Mattingly's press conference or dugout interview? Somebody gently broached that subject with him. They're like, well, were there any other pairings discussed or anything else? And he said that, we talked to Stott about, him being comfortable at the move. We talked to Bohm. Bryce had volunteered the day before, which we'll get to Bryce because that's a solid move on his part for a team that I don't think deserves that kind of deference from him. But the fact that nobody even asked Trey Turner, like, hey, would you go to the outfield? I feel like I'm looking at a different team than our front office is looking at. I'm looking at a guy that cannot play shortstop. He's the worst shortstop in baseball defensively, and he's too high and mighty to be asked to move to the outfield. We're gonna do it next season anyway. Just start now.
Yeah, start now, fill the hole in center. Dotson natural shortstop. He'll play fine there defensively. Arise has been way better defensively this season than he ever has in his career. So the fit's there at second base and keep Bowman Harper where they are. I mean, it's really not hard. There's other moves that could have been made in place of this one. Like I totally agree with you. The fit is absolutely strange, but the player is a great player that we're getting. I mean, put him right in front of Schwarber and just double his RBI count.
Yeah, it's such an easy solution. Like, we're going to move 4 guys from either their natural position or the position they've recently learned, all to cater to the worst, probably the worst defensive player we have on the roster.
Oh, yeah, by far the worst defensive player. I mean, it's tough. I mean, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? The lockout coming, I know we're going to talk about that this offseason because it's going to come up and it's going to happen. But
it is. I mean, we're going to spend most of it on the Phillies. I want to spend maybe 2 minutes or so talking about the LA thing because I'm not sure how you fix it. And I'm curious to where you land because a lot of people are angry with their own respective. I'm seeing a lot more people taking up for the Dodgers than I expected to see. This isn't something not every team could have made.
Eagles do it. Trying to bring this back to Philly a little bit. The Eagles do it, but they do it in such a way that every team can do it. That's why I think teams are backing the Dodgers because every team can do it, but theoretically every team can't.
Yeah. Not everybody has their own personal TV deal. And I read something the other day. I'm not sure. Have you seen this where the Dodgers financially were in trouble? I'm going to make up a number. Let's say 6 years ago. I don't have the stats in front of me. But their TV, the MLB pulls an amount from each team's TV contract to the league itself.
Mm-hmm.
From what I was reading, the Dodgers struck up a deal with Major League Baseball when they were in financial trouble to have their pull from their TV money be temporarily less until they got back on their feet. Well, the exemption for that was 15 or 20 years. So they're back on their feet now, one of the richest teams in baseball, but they still have this exemption from the league.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but it's a problem that MLB is going to have to solve. And good thing we're not going to have to do it because the money that Jalen Carter is making right now is less than Kyle Tucker got. It's less than Scooble's going to get. It's less than Ohtani's making. It's less than Freeman, Betts. So the deferred money is not comparable from sport to sport because Ohtani's getting deferred
Oh, okay. I found the numbers. The Dodgers retain an estimated $66 million more per year due to their deal with the league's revenue sharing pool.
They want LA to be a thing, and it's pretty obvious every sport wants LA to be a thing, and varying degrees of success with that. But so for the Phillies, the deadline, it's a rental, but it is an expensive rental. But you need the bats to get hot because this whole Dodgers thing, it's going to be Scooble and Sanchez, it's going to be Yamamoto, it's going to be Wheeler, and it's going to be Luzardo, and then whoever they throw out there, probably Ohtani if he's good to go, as he will be. And
I mean, they still have Snell out there too.
I think he's hurt right now, and so is Glass now. But Glass now and Snell is 4 and 5.
By then they'll be back.
It's stupid. It's literally ridiculous. I mean, so I get why Dave doesn't want to go all in because a chip push right now
might not matter.
It might not matter. So I understand from a whole perspective because did they give the Dodgers kind of run for their money? Yeah. What would have happened if Kirkland didn't sail that ball over Reel's head? We'll never know.
Yeah. The thing is, and this could be the homer in me, the rest of the roster, it's night and day. I think we have the pitching. I think depending on when we meet them, if we meet them in a 5-game, we have the pitching. There's not the 3 guys you just listed. on any given day, any one of our top three can absolutely duel with them pitch for pitch.
Yeah.
The problem is the Dodgers lineup is far scarier than ours could ever hope to be.
Yeah, that's the problem, and it's like who could really challenge them? Like you see the AL, they don't really have any great teams.
No.
No,
I mean, the
it's
class of the MLB is Dodgers Brewers.
Dodgers Brewers, but the Brewers, I think their record, that's something another time. That'll be something for when we meet
They're
them
in
in
a
the
bad
playoffs,
division
probably.
too, which helps.
They have Mizorowski, but I just don't think their bats are good enough. Even when they get hot. I mean, they have a couple pieces, but so wrapping this all the way back around to Philly, I get that we gave up our number 4 prospect, but in our farm system, as weak as it is, our number 4 is not, as significant as, say, the Dodgers, for example, 4th prospect, who I think got dealt to the Tigers for Skubal. So
he did. The Dodgers farm. I've been doing a lot of deep diving on this. The Dodgers farm system is, like you said, they're trying to make LA happen. Their farm system is so inflated, it's not even.
you know what's funny? I was just saying this today. I looked at the top prospect list. How is River Ryan a top
He's
100
28.
prospect? He's 28. How is he a top 100 prospect? And my friend's a Tigers fan, so I was talking to him. He looked at River Ryan in the prospect database. The day after he got traded to the Tigers, he dropped 14 spots.
Yeah, like
it's Dodger inflation.
It absolutely is. That wasn't even that big of a haul for Skubal. I mean, I get, they weren't going to the driver's seat.
There's so many factors to it.
But for the Dodgers, it's not a rental because they know they're going to lock him up. That's where he wants to be.
Yes.
I mean, that's why I was okay with Dave not going balls to the wall on Skubal because there was no chance we could keep him.
He did throw an offer in there.
I saw that, and I'm waiting for somebody I really trust to back it up because it seems like a better offer than they took from LA. I mean, Justin Crawford's a big leaguer now, and Gage Wood's probably our second leading pitching prospect at this point. Now that Painter's a major leaguer,
I think he's first.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a bigger haul than they. I would really hope Dave didn't offer that because we talk about crippling the team for a rental.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see how this is all going to play out. But I think it's an okay deadline. I mean, Arise is a good bat. I hate the fit. We're gonna have to talk about Harper a little bit here, but
I love, like I said, I've been wanting to rise on this team for probably the last 3 off seasons when he's been bouncing around. So I'm glad we finally got him. I give Harper a ton of credit for being unquestionably the best player on this team and being flexible enough to go back to the outfield when, you look around and you have your counterpart superstar and Trey Turner that, for whatever the reason, I don't believe for a second he wasn't asked. I don't think that's the case, but that's just me and my tinfoil hat. He didn't move. Stott and Bohm, to their credit, offered the move. Like, for Bryce to go back out to right field, I think is a big deal because he absolutely does not want to, and he's planning on being back at first in 2027. The only thing that confuses me a little bit, and I know I'm being picky, is in the offseason, we had the chance to go get Pete Alonso, who can only play first base. And for one reason or another, that wasn't the particular fit that Bryce was willing to move to the outfield for. I'm a little bit confused other than average. I mean, now you're looking at Luis Ariz, who's a good ball player. He's not Pete Alonso. And that Bryce will make the move for?
I mean, you're looking at more RBI opportunities.
For him, yes. Well, no, Ariz is going to bat behind Harp.
Did they announce the order?
They have a projected order, which I don't mind. Like, Ariz is a good fit because he's going to finally protect Harper. So Ariz will probably hit 4 and keep Harper at 3.
We're doing the whole Bohm thing again, but with a better Bohm.
It's a way better Bohm. He'll actually put the ball in play.
We're doing the whole Bohm thing cleanup again. So I didn't know that. I thought he was going to bat first or second.
No, you need somebody behind Harper that teams at least respect. I mean, right now they're walking Harp to get right to Bohm. Now, I mean, Ariz doesn't have much pop, but neither did Alec. But at least if if two people ahead of him get on, or if Bryce hits a double, at least you have to worry about Arise.
So we're moving Schwarber back to the leadoff spot.
Let me see. I mean, I think 1 or 2. He was never really hitting. Schwarber wasn't really hitting cleanup much this year.
It makes it makes sense to put him back at 1 because I don't think 3 lefties in a row would be quite.
Well, that was the clunky part of it being Arise. Again, happy to have him, but the fit is it's awkward at best.
See, it's so hard to get excited about the Phillies right now because you have the Dodgers, you have the bats just going cold all the time, and then you look across the parking lot in both directions. In one, you see a LeBron James Sixers team that's absolutely loaded, and the other you see Lincoln Financial Field, which is coming off of 2 Super Bowl appearances and a recent Super Bowl 2 years ago. So it's like, I remember we've had several discussions of how this town is going to fall out of love with this team.
Yeah.
I think this is the moment. I think all the cards are lining up for it, especially if Rise doesn't pan out. I think he will.
I think he will.
But
he just hits.
The excitement for the other teams is kind of there. Camp starting, NBA is doing their summer league, preseason starting soon. First tickets for the Sixers preseason game is $283 or something like that.
Seeing that, yeah.
So like excitement is at an all-time high for both of these two teams, and then you have the Phillies who just go out in the saddest way possible every year.
They're gonna have to. I mean, if I'm with you, I think you're 100% right. I mean, you could even argue, look, this town's a baseball town to a degree. It's a football and a baseball town, so I don't want to discount what could happen in October. But I'm with you. Like the feeling around here is you got Flyers are young, they're hungry, they're tough. I think Philly relates to them. Like they're an exciting team.
They're doing a rebuild right. They're doing a rebuild right. Like
yeah, the Eagles are reloaded. The drama's gone. You're hearing good things out of camp. Plus, the Eagles, it's always going to be a football town, no matter what happens. Then you got the Sixers with the best lineup they've had probably since '84. I mean, this is better than the '01 team at this point. So, I mean, interest for them is through the roof. Like, the Phillies could be like fourth fiddle here is a real possibility.
We've talked about it, a year ago. I think maybe even 2 years ago, how this town might lose patience. And to their credit, this town has not lost patience with this team just yet, but it's coming. It's going to happen.
If they think that they're going to get a home playoff series and they're going to be able, I mean, early on, like if that first home playoff series, if they're expecting the Red October that they're used to, I think, unfortunately, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. I think they're going to understand what the Sixers deal with in the first round of playoff games where, look, if they're going to charge this amount of money, fans are going to kind of take this, like, prove-it attitude where we've seen you get to the first round the last, 3 seasons now? Like, show me that you can get past it, then we'll buy in. We'll be back. We'll rally towel. We'll scream our heads off. We'll chant. But if they expect Philadelphia to get up for a wild card or an NLDS series, I kind of think they're sadly mistaken.
Think through the lens of a fan. Like, do you want to drop this much money on a playoff game to go see the Phillies probably lose? Or do you want to go see one of the 2 greatest basketball players of all time?
Yeah, play for your team.
Play for your team in probably one of the better environments in the sport right now because everyone's going to be on board.
Yeah. No, the Phillies had a lot of goodwill, and they managed to slowly squander it over time. And, if they win an NLDS, I think it comes back in a hurry.
Yes.
But they're going to have to prove it, and they haven't had to do that really until this year. There's been people who've been frustrated, but every year, the offseason, the excitement builds back up again. This will be new for them. It'll be new for Bryce, for sure, where he's seen the Philly that he loves, that's behind you no matter what. This will be the first time he sees the other side of it, where you got to give us a reason to care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to. You're potentially, like you said, the fourth fiddle in town. You're not passing the Sixers.
No.
you're not passing the Eagles unless you win a World Series. Like they have to win it all, and the odds are not in their favor with everything that's been going on elsewhere in MLB. So we could be heading back to really bad times for the Phillies, especially, if Trey Turner keeps declining to move to center, like it could get scary bad really quick.
Yeah, it could be tricky. And when you're talking about the moves being made and the underwhelming ones in Citizens Bank Park, what we're not used to doing is kicking things across the parking lot in the other direction to look for sunnier skies and greener grass. But I don't know if anybody, including Howie this offseason, has been on a bigger heater than Mike Ganzi has been on with the Sixers. I mean, this is somebody who's had the GM title in Cleveland, got the big promotion. He's the sole guy running things now at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, and he let his nuts hang this offseason. You can go out and get Jaylen Brown, which every Sixers fan would have been thrilled with if it stopped there. Then you go make some moves around the outside. Anthony Simmons, I love as an addition. I think he's going to be really good on that second unit, especially if it winds up being Simmons, Edgecombe. I don't know where where LeBaron fills in at this point, but I mean that second unit now is legit. And at that point, I was in on the Sixers this year. I thought we had a real shot in the East. And then you see that tweet pop up, and it's what's up?
I couldn't believe it.
It's nothing. I didn't think it would ever happen to me. Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, who's this from? Is it from like Chamois or like? Is it a fake account? I'm looking at it and it's Shams and LeBron in a Sixers jersey, and I just couldn't believe it. I mean, we're trying to fill. You look at that lineup and it's good, and you're thinking, okay, who's going to start at the 4? Whoever we put there, we're still going to be fine. You're putting LeBron James there. Like that's who you use to fill in that extra spot is LeBron James on a vet minimum. It's a one of one in the entire in the history of basketball, where the best player, one of the 2 best players of all time, signs a deal in a city and does not care the least bit about the money.
It's insane. I mean, and like you said, that second unit with Simons, Edgecombe playing some minutes there, getting to be the guy that's the scorer on the ball. Dean Wade, he's no slouch either. He's going to provide valuable defense from the 4, and he's a nice stretch big. He can hit the 3 ball. So like, there's depth. I've been saying since the beginning, like Cleveland and Miami, you guys were getting your hopes up a little too much. It felt like their teams weren't there. From a basketball standpoint, it was either Philadelphia, which he chose, or Minnesota. From just a pure basketball, pure let's win standpoint, it was those 2 teams. And I honestly just, it still hasn't set in that the player that I grew up throughout my childhood bandwagoning the absolute crap out of is playing for my team now. It's insane.
Yeah, and it comes out little by little that, when he first chose LA, the Sixers had a real shot at it then. Like all the rumors that, we thought were false. He was here looking at schools for Bronny. Like that, we had a shot at him twice. We were close the first time, but the lifestyle took him out to LA. Evidently, his wife wanted to stay out there, whatever. But this time for his last act, it seemed like he lined up all 30, like every team in the NBA, give me your best pitch. Money doesn't matter, and I'll see where I want to play. And it's pretty cool that Philadelphia won that. Because like you said, Golden State's easy. That's he and Steph are good buddies. It's the West Coast. That was a layup.
Not good, though. That team's not good.
No. Obviously you have the nostalgia in Miami and Cleveland. The fact that Philly came out of that's pretty awesome, and it's a testament to, from what I've heard, that Team USA experience that he and Joel shared. I think made a difference, because he kind of said he got to see behind the curtain and see the real Joel, not the he's lazy, he's fat, he's always injury prone. Like they got to work out together, and then Tyrese Maxey apparently recruited the hell out of him. I mean, from the reports I'm hearing, like he was calling him 2 or 3 times a week, just like, hey, Brian, get over here, man. Like we got something going. And I think the respect there is mutual because Rich Paul had kind of said that, publicly that this is Tyrese Maxey's team. LeBron doesn't want to be option one anymore. He chose Philly, I think, because he's a nice addition, but this team was good without him, which is true.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll be betting LeBron triple-double plenty this season because he's gonna be a great point forward. He's gonna be dishing the ball to the other 4 guys, and they're gonna keep scoring. And all the concerns I see about this team are, oh, the usage is too high, or oh, everyone's a primary on ball guy. When you want to win, you will take that back seat. And I think I know Embiid's definitely bought in. I know Maxey's definitely bought in. Edge comes young and hungry. LeBron's obviously coming here not to be the number 1 option, like you just said. And Jaylen Brown seems to be pretty locked in and, on winning a title. Obviously,
he was part of the shooting effort, it sounds like.
Yeah, there's a little bit of concern from me there in that aspect because the whole comments about him saying his favorite season was last year when Jason Tatum was kind of hurt the whole year gives me just a little bit of pause there. Like, I think it's all going to work out and be fine,
I'm with you. I thought that too for a little bit, and then I kind of talked myself out of it because I wasn't going to let anything rain on my LeBron parade.
Oh, no, it's not raining on it. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
It's legit. But I think, the more I thought about it, it is a bit of a different scenario where I think it's harder to be Robin to Batman than it is to be part of an ensemble of stars. Because it's not so obvious. They're not every game. They're not going to talk to Jason Tatum after the game while you go talk to the local guys or you go back to the locker room. It's not the game day graphics where it's just Jason Tatum and not you. Like, I think with this Sixer team, when you're on a roster with all NBA and Maxey, all time in LeBron, all NBA and Joel, like, I think it's easier to not get your ego hurt when it's spread 4 across, not 2 across.
And the way to solve that is give them some run with the 2s. Like, you could stagger these guys. Obviously, all 5 of them on the court at once is going to be awesome. But if you have, like, say, a Maxey and a Jaylen Brown out there at one time, or LeBron and Jaylen Brown, and stagger those minutes, like, it'll work out where he'll be able to be the ball dominant player that he was in Boston, and still, contribute to the greater good, which is getting a Philadelphia title. I mean, I'm thinking in my mind right now, how much of those Sixers Knicks Eastern Conference Finals tickets going to be? Because it's going to be absolutely bonkers if that's how it all plays out.
And the thing I'm excited about watching this team play is, like, I've seen, we only have a minute or so left, so we'll wrap up on this thought. But I've seen a lot of people question the fit and how are these guys going to fit together. And I mean, it's going to take time. Don't get me wrong. This is going to be LeBron in Miami again. The early part of the season, they're probably going to hover between the 4th and the 6th seed until probably the break. And then they're going to start putting this thing together. They're all, like I said, they're all unselfish. They're all great basketball minds. But I think once they find their roles, the fit, I don't worry about the fit. No. Like, when you look at this, like, pace of play, Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, LeBron consistently lead the league in points off transition. So this team is going to run. And that's not even accounting for VJ Edgecombe, who's one of the fastest players in the league. And on the flip side of that, like you said, when we're kind of running these different sets, if you don't have those 4 on the court together, you have the luxury of, I would argue, probably 2 guys on this roster who you can put almost anyone on the court with and they'll get a bucket. Jaylen Brown's that kind of guy. And Joel is that kind of guy. LeBron doesn't want to be at this point. He doesn't want to be. And as much as I love Tyrese Maxey, we've seen him try to do that, and it's not the best version of him. But you can run an all-second team with Joel and just feed him the ball in the paint. He'll get you points. Boston did a whole season of just feed Jaylen Brown the ball and hope for the best, and it worked. So I don't see the issue with where the fit is. I think this team can beat you several different ways.
I totally agree, which is funny because you bring up the fit here and it works because he could be that point forward, 5th option. He could score 6 points a night for all we care. Then he'll have like 6, 10, and 10. It'll be fine. But Miami, he would have been asked to be at least the third option behind Bam and Giannis. Cleveland, he probably would have been the second option, maybe third with Harden and Mitchell. And in Golden State, he would have been the second option behind Steph. So like he would still had to carry the load there, which is the thing that from the jump he stated, I don't want to do. And you know what's funny about all this whole scenario? You see that Windhorse video from like a month ago, 2 months ago, where it's like, what happens if a team trades for Jaylen Brown and then goes and gets LeBron too? He was dropping the hints. He knew he's a real one.
Yeah, and LeBron doesn't come without Jaylen Brown. This was his dream scenario. It's a team that he can guide a new city to a title. He'll be a hero here forever. And like you said, he could average 10 points a game, and we'd be through the roof about it.
Yeah, I agree. We'd all be through the roof. We got to thank the New York Knicks for winning because, I never thought I'd celebrate a Knicks win because he would be in New York right now. He's going to live there. He was going to play basketball for them if they lost the title. So I can't believe I'm actually happy about a Knicks win.
Shout out Brad Stevens.
Shout out Brad Stevens for not giving up Hugo Gonzalez in that trade for Giannis. I mean, what an offseason for them to go 180 like that.
And I mean, like I said, we've talked about all the other stuff, but I mean, we have a GM and we have a president of basketball operations in Philadelphia now. I mean, this guy takes huge swings, and they're not comfortable swings. It's not aging stars who are big names. I mean, it's the moves that the fans are like, oh, what if we went out and got him?
Yeah, and they did.
He's doing it, and he's not giving up. He's not Howie yet, but you can see.
I was going to say, Howie Roseman, you have competition now, buddy.
And Howie be proud of the way he did it. He recognizes when he has leverage, and he uses it. Jaylen Brown was unhappy in Boston. Boston opened a can of worms by trying to trade him.
And so he never asked out.
Yeah. So he was disrespected, and he went to Boston. He was like, look, I see you're in a pickle. I'll give you Paul George. We'll throw in a couple picks, and I know you don't have a better offer, and they didn't. And that's a move that Howie would do. Daryl would overpay just because he felt like it.
Oh, I won't. I saw those tweets. Like, what was Daryl Morey really doing with this team? It's kind of insane. I think he would have paid Quentin Grimes the $15 million and called it an offseason. I don't even think we're exaggerating at that point.
No, we finally have a guy at the controls, and it's a good place to be. But we'll keep an eye out for anything else that's going on. The plan is to be back on our regularly scheduled programming Thursdays at 9 starting next week. But we will keep you all abreast of any changes. In the meantime, I'm Brandon. That's Ryan. This is a Passing Report. We'll see you later.